Hi, welcome to Dark Goddess Moon Tarot. I'm Olivia, and today's reading is going to be about money, or perhaps a lack thereof. I have 7 questions, and the theme of the reading is really about how can we align with the frequency of prosperity. And not just the frequency, but actual prosperity. How can we align with prosperity? And that is, it's interesting that I said that. I wrote down aligning with prosperity in my notebook, but I said aligning with the frequency of prosperity. My first question, oh my goodness, okay, is current financial energy. And 3 cards flew out. King of Wands in reverse, 4 of Wands in reverse, and the Moon. So, there's a hidden shadow that hopefully we will discover in this reading. There's something hidden, something you don't know yet, but that will become illuminated. The King of Wands in reverse is a very disempowered energy. It's feeling out of control. So perhaps your current financial energy is feeling out of control. With the 4 of Wands being in reverse, it's 4 of Wands is community celebration. It's celebrating a milestone, but it's in reverse. We're not there yet. So that makes sense. Current financial energy. Okay. What is the money block, Spirit? What is the money block? It's interesting. I wanted to flip, but it didn't. And then I just looked at the Moon card. What is the money block, please, Spirit? The Star in reverse. It's a need to heal. There's a need to heal something. Generationally, societally, is that a word? Internally, there's a need to heal something internally. Underneath the deck, we have the 5 of Cups in reverse. So the 5 of Cups is despair. Feeling like you've lost everything. But you have not, my love. Look, there are things that are hidden that you cannot see. Not yet. Okay. Next question. What's the root of the scarcity? What's the root of the scarcity? The root. So, meaning not if you just lost your job, that's not the root. That's something that's happened, but that's not the root of the problem. Queen of Pentacles in reverse. The root of the scarcity is you not taking care of yourself. You not putting yourself first. You not tending to your internal garden. Wounded Warrior, 9 of Wands. You are very tired. Understandably so. This matrix world is hard. It is full of challenges for the duration of our time spent here. But we must remember that the way that we treat ourselves is what will show up in our external world. So, root of scarcity. Deep down, you're going to need to do some shadow work on this. Deep, deep down, the root is you don't feel worthy of caring for yourself. And this could show up in different ways, like maybe you're not taking care of your body, with pentacles being the physical matter. Pentacles aren't just money. They're earthly, 3D plane things. So body, physical health, hearth and home. Your environment has been unstable. Perhaps you had a really unstable childhood. Perhaps there was extreme financial instability in your home, or instability of any kind, really. And this instability has affected your entire life, because the body keeps the score. I have not read that book. It was very intense. There you can watch therapists talk about it on YouTube. I would recommend that instead of trying to read it right away if you've had any sort of, if you have complex PTSD or childhood trauma. But the point is, the body remembers. So no matter how much we try to push the childhood trauma away, or any sort of trauma away, we bury it, we push it, oftentimes to survive, to cope, right? If we don't have access to a weekly therapist that can help us process all of that, it feels easier to shove it all away, or kind of disassociate from it, or to really not even become aware that was a thing. But I am being really called to talk about the root of the scarcity mindset. So even if you grew up in a home with money, like lots of money, there could still be this root of scarcity coming from there if you weren't taught that you deserve to care for yourself, that it's crucial to care for yourself. You might have been told, especially if you're a woman or were born female, or identify as female, in a lot of areas of this world, I mean, I would say everywhere, it is still very prevalent. It's like an unspoken expectation that you're supposed to put others first. This may be the root of stemming from childhood. Were you the caretaker? Were you your parents' emotional caregiver? Or one of your parents' emotional caregiver? And so now as an adult, you feel this need to take care of others. Take care of others. I have to take care of others. And prioritizing their needs and wants above your needs and wants. And that's putting you in this scarcity. My next question is, how is this affecting your life? How is this affecting your life? I think we talked about it, but let's just see what Spirit wants to say. Page of Wands in reverse. It's preventing you from self-exploration and exploration in the world. It's preventing you from discovering what your internal spark is, because you aren't prioritizing yourself. It's time. If this reading is resonating with you so far, it is time, honey. Prioritize yourself. That does not make you selfish. If you've ever flown on an airplane, you know you are instructed, if there were to be an issue with the plane is going down and the oxygen masks come out, you're instructed to put yours on before helping your child or your elderly parent or anybody next to you. You're instructed to put yours on first, because you cannot put someone else's oxygen mask on if you cannot breathe. I just finished listening to an audiobook called How to Keep House While Drowning. I'm going to link it. I will comment. I'll leave a comment. And I got it from the library. So if you're in a financially tough spot, don't think you need to buy a book. Check your library and see if they have it. I listened to the audiobook on the Libby app. I'll comment it down below. I'll leave the information down below. I'm also going to just put in the author of that book did a TED Talk that really helped me. And with the Queen of Pentacles in reverse here, I'm being told to add that as well. So if you don't have the time, the audiobook's only like 3 hours, but the TED Talk is obviously much shorter. It's like 15 minutes or something. So I'm going to put those in there. If you're feeling like you can't care for yourself, you can't care for your house, you can't care for your home, you can't care for your dependents properly in a way that is sustainable for you, so she's a mom and she has kids. I do not, so I can't speak to that, but she talks about that. And she also talks about, which I really love, neurodivergence. If you have ADHD, if you have, mental health issues like depression, that are preventing you from caring for yourself, like basic cleaning and hygiene and things like that, this book and the TED Talk are extremely helpful. So those will be commented below. Yeah. The question was, how is this affecting your life? And then, so we had the Page of Wands come out. Speaking of ADHD. And this is a call. This is a call to, I'm being blocked on that, so we're gonna wait. That was weird. Ten of Swords. How is this affecting your life? Well, it's probably pretty painful. But the good news is you're at the end of the cycle. Okay? The sword cycle is the most painful. But it's mental. It's a mental cycle. Which means we are in control of it. It just takes a new perspective with the Hanged One here. Next question, what do you need to change? feel like Spirit gives me answers before I can ask the questions. What do you need to change? I think a new perspective is helpful, but what else? What else? What do you need to change? What do they need to change, Spirit? Thank you. I had one card fly out. I feel like there's something else. The card that flipped out face down is the Chariot in reverse. So this is a lack of fortitude, mental willpower. It takes willpower. It also takes balance with Justice here on the bottom of the deck. More balance needs to be brought into your life, and you need to bring more balance into your life because you are the charioteer. And notice the charioteer is not holding on to any reins on the sphinxes. They're mental reins. They're mental reins. Okay. Yeah. You're coming out of it. So we have the Eight of Swords and the Devil in reverse. And the Eight of Swords is self-imprisonment, feeling like you're always the victim of your circumstances, but you're going to come out of that with the Devil in reverse. That means you're letting go of this attachment to feeling this way. Sometimes we feel calmest. Those of us that have experienced really chaotic, traumatic childhoods feel calmest in the chaos. It's a nervous system thing, you know. There's science behind it, and I am no scientist, so I will leave that to the professionals. But you're coming out of it. You're taking off the chains that bind you with the Devil. You're taking off the ropes that bind you with the Eight of Swords. You're taking the mental reins with the Chariot. You're going to develop a new perspective with the Hanged One. And you're going to end this cycle of mental anguish that has caused you so much pain. The Emperor in reverse on the bottom. It's a very disempowered energy. Same thing with the King of Wands here that came out earlier. And the Queen of Pentacles. Very disempowered energy with all three of these coming out in reverse. So you're being called to become the leader of your own life. And you may absolutely be doing all of the things that you need to be doing. And perhaps this will just be confirmation that, like, yeah, I know I need to become the leader of my own life. And I'm taking action. The King of Wands does not apply for jobs. No. He creates them. The King of Wands is someone who, this depends on what industry you're in, so only take it if it resonates, but allow it to be like a creative jumping point that can hopefully inspire you to come up with ideas if you're like in between jobs right now, or stuck in a job you absolutely hate and you know is not right for you, and you know you deserve better. Your soul does anyway, your higher self does. Maybe you don't feel that way right now, but you do deserve better. No one deserves to have a job they hate. Unfortunately, with capitalism being at the late stage that it's in, the world being the way that it is right now, we are conditioned to believe, even if you didn't have anything in your life happen or people specifically say certain things to you, there's like a societal pressure to have an output. Like, you're only worth as much as you give. You're only worth as much money as you make. You're only worth how hard you work. You're only worth what you can contribute to your household or your community, or, you know. But that's not where self-worth should come from, and that's probably why you're feeling this way, like you're not worth taking care of. Some of you. But to come out of that and to come into this place of becoming an entrepreneur or working your way up in a company, if that is what you want to do, if that's what you feel called to do in your soul, leading, true leaders, they don't lead from a place of anger, frustration, which is like King of Wands in reverse energy. They're teachers. They inspire. They're creative. Creative ingenuity. Perhaps you're going to create a position for yourself. Perhaps you're going to reach out to your dream job company and create a position for yourself. Perhaps you're going to start your own business or go into freelance if that's something that you want to do, that's in your wheelhouse, right? Not wheelhouse, your field. There's something here your higher self, your spirit team would like you to take a look at in terms of becoming the leader. If you are someone that is like, I do not want to work for myself, I don't know where to start, it's just not what I want to do, then this is a call to, when you're going on job interviews, embody the energy of the Emperor. Embody the energy of the King of Wands, regardless of gender or how you identify. It's a confidence thing. If you go in there, Queen of Pentacles in the reverse, not caring about yourself, you're going to get a job with people who don't care about their employees. You have to know your worth. You have to know your worth. And you have to ask questions to make sure they are worthy of you. I just heard, and if it doesn't work out, then you know. Okay, what is the next question? What is the magnet for wealth? The magnet. What is going to magnetize wealth and prosperity into their lives? Coming out of conflict with the Five of Wands here. It's an internal conflict. Coming out of conflict within yourself. That's the magnet. If you are like having negative self-talk, self-limiting beliefs, if you're doing that whole spiral, and maybe it's not a victim spiral, maybe it's a I'm not worthy spiral. I can't do this spiral. Coming out of that internal conflict, that is the magnet to wealth. You have to believe in yourself. You have to put yourself first, because that is justice. Whew, this energy is like strict. She means business, honey. All right, what's the next step? What's the next step they can take? What's the next step they can take? We're going to pull Oracle card and charms after this. Knight of Cups, follow your heart. Oh, I love that. Thank you, Spirit. Oh, Knight of Cups, follow your heart. The Knight of Cups follows their heart. And speaking to the internal again. Remember the internal conflict, right? If we look at the Knight of Cups, their eyes are closed. Even the horse's eyes. Well, they're not like closed. They're like slightly closed to go within, to look within. What does your heart tell you? What does your heart tell you that it wants? That's your next step, is to figure that out. And you're not gonna get that from a tarot reading, okay? That is the internal work. It's internal work. Have to take the ropes off. And I think that you are, because this card came out with the Devil in reverse. You're going to come out of that familiar. That's what I wanted to talk about. Going back to like our body holds on to, traumatic experiences, no matter how big or small or how few or how many, right? Like it's still in there, and there's a familiarity that we can become accustomed to where our nervous system I'm gonna use this as an example. I'm not a cigarette smoker, not my thing, and I don't mean to insult you if you are. This is not a judgment or an insult, but it may be something you need to hear with the Queen of Pentacles in reverse, taking care of your body. If you are a cigarette smoker, one of my biggest irritations when someone says the reason they don't want to quit smoking is because it's a stress relief. If you look into the science of that, it's actually not. It gives like a quick little dopamine hit or whatever, but the crash, the come down, makes you more anxious and more stressed out than if you just hadn't smoked. That's why it's addicting. That's why it's a cycle. So you may not be a smoker, but this might be just another example of how we can keep ourselves in something that's not good for us because it's familiar and it's what we're used to. It's a pattern we're used to. It's a cycle we're used to. You deserve better. The Queen of Pentacles in the upright, takes care of her vessel, their vessel. They care for themselves the way they would care for an innocent. Yeah. Let's get an oracle card before we pull charms. It's easy. Metamorphosis. Yeah. So if you are a smoker, I think this might be like a call from spirit to get you to stop. I'm just saying, don't shoot the messenger, please. But you're gonna transform, honey. You're gonna transform. You're gonna transform. You are a butterfly. You may be in your cocoon right now. You may be a caterpillar still. Oh, yeah, Four of Swords. It was in reverse, so that's like a severe call, a severe need to rest. And going within. It's not just taking naps kind of rest, you know what I mean? It's like a contemplation kind of rest where you're shutting out the noise of the internal conflict. You're shutting out the noise of the self-limiting beliefs. And you're going within to discover how you can best take care of yourself. Physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, all of it. And you're going to follow your heart. But you need to contemplate. Unless you already know what your heart wants, you're going to need to spend some time in solitude and quiet. Each day, I'm hearing. Until you know what it is your heart wants. Okay, honey? Because you're meant to be a butterfly. That's beautiful. Thank you, Spirit. Okay, let's get some charms to wrap up the reading. If this was resonating with you, please let me know in the comments how it resonated with you. I would love to know how it's resonating. And also, please, of course, like the video. That will help me get my channel out to the people that it needs to get to. And subscribe so that I can better tap into your energy. Oh, and hype the video, please. If you found this video helpful or interesting, please do hype the video so that will also help get my channel seen by the people that really need to hear these messages. Okay, charms can act as signs, synchronicities that you've been seeing or that your spirit team will show you in the next coming days or weeks or months for some of you. And so keep them in mind. Okay. Sometimes they bring through additional messages or just act as clarifiers as well. Ooh. Okay. Oh. Okay. I don't know where to start. All right. Did we have... All right. I don't know. I don't think we did. Okay. So we have a judge's gavel. I just saw 3311 on the timer. That might be an angel number for you. A sign of synchronicity. We had a judge's gavel and justice. So, yeah. Justice is coming, honey. Divine justice is on the way. But you have to co-create with spirit. They can't do everything for us. It's co-creation. But divine justice is on the way. We have a magnifying glass, which is like, for me, take a closer look at something, which ties into the Four of Swords of going into solitude so that you can contemplate. Taking a closer look. Sorry. We have an ocean charm, the ocean waves, and a sun. So even though the waves are tumultuous, the waves are choppy, the sun will eventually rise. And then we have two little rabbits under a crescent moon in a garden. So rabbits may be significant. Look, Rabbit and the Queen of Pentacles. And then the rabbit's charm came out. Yeah, that's confirmation for sure. Thank you, Spirit. We have a lightning bolts. So like quick action. Quick. start. Ooh, my head's tingling. Start this quick. This is a collective reading, so some of you are super close to busting out of this cocoon. Some of you haven't even gone into the cocoon yet. Probably most of you have not gone into the cocoon yet. So take a closer look and start this process quick as lightning. Okay, 2 more charms. We have a compass with a North Star, you could say, in the middle. Finding your North Star. Something, if you have no idea what your heart wants, if you're into astrology, take a look. It doesn't mean it's going to resonate for everyone, but you can take a look at your birth chart, as long as you know the city, the place you were born, and the time of your birth. You can get your full birth chart for free online, and look at your North Node placement. Yeah, look at your North Node placement. That may help give some insight. Okay. And then we have angel wings, which Spirit brings this out when they want me to remind you that you are not alone. Spirit is co-creating with you, but they need you to do some work. Okay? Internal work, mental work. Some would say the hardest work. But you wouldn't be here if you weren't capable of doing it. Okay? I promise you. You would not be here if you were not capable of doing that work. You are capable. You are doing it. But it starts with you. Oh, thank you so much, Spirit. And thank you. If you have watched to the end, let me know in the comments. Maybe leave a bunny rabbit emoji or a lightning bolt emoji, or just let me know. Let me know how this is resonating, and if you feel comfortable sharing what it is that your heart desires in terms of aligning with prosperity, share that in the comments. Let's boost each other up. Let's be a community, a tarot community here at Dark Goddess Moon Tarot. And remember, you are not alone. It definitely will feel that way sometimes. That's part of this. And sometimes it's actually good to be alone while you figure stuff out. Until the next time, I am sending you so much love. Take care.